I'm ready to start whenever you're ready. I'll just mute now.
Anyway.
Okay, so welcome to session number 67. We have, I should check the mics and make sure they're actually working, and my camera's currently working, which is also good. Doesn't always check those things. So we're up to number 67. We have characters currently in a nice adventure called the Tree of Life. Unfortunately, your other champion still can't make the game.
Who?
Clarissa still can't make the game. Too many things going on.
That's a shame. She seems very vibrant.
She is.
Yes.
And I will get people to introduce their characters. I'll start off with Jeremy.
Oh, well,
Unless you want to start off.
I can start off, then
You
I
can
can
start
go do
off.
my food.
Yes.
You start.
Okay.
I'm Artificer known Duke and Cover. Newly joined up to the group, and having decided that their quest was spiritually worthy and trying to help them help the Tree of Life. That pretty much covers me, aside from maybe the fact that my nickname might be the Bad Bomber.
Depends how enthusiastic your brooms get.
Yeah, they're usually more colourful than they are harmful.
When someone says paint the
Enthusiastic,
town
not
red,
damaging.
that's the person who will literally paint the town red.
I prefer to
Paint
go
bombs.
rainbow, but yeah. And sprinkles and bath bombs.
Yes.
Except sometimes I get my bath bombs mixed up with my real bombs, and then baths are a whole different story. I don't get too
Right.
More floating fish in the baths. Okay, so Paul.
Cruel, elf, warlock, diplomat, healer,
Tree hugger.
tree hugger, and new leader of the shadow elves, who have not been seen for a long, long time. And I'm going to reintroduce them to the universe. Hopefully.
Unless, of course, they've been around the whole time and no one's noticed because they look like
That's-
other elves.
Well, that's actually, given what they're like, almost certain. I'm going to call for shadow elves and show that I've got some political strength to protect them, and I'm immediately going to get about 4,000 elves. Or 400. I don't care, there's going to be a bunch.
Or 4.
Yeah, so I'd be thinking 4. Or maybe 0.4.
No, I doubt it's going to be only 0.4.
It could be worse. It could be 4 million show up expecting him to deal with them. And he goes, there's more elves here than there are in Elfheim. Oops.
That
Yes.
sounds
It could be a bit interesting.
very. Alrighty.
Okay, so online today we have Jeremy.
Yes, good evening all. I'm playing an Atruaghin clansman who has been sent out into the world to discover more of the world beyond the plateau, to then bring the knowledge and experience back to the clans and help lead them, potentially, in their spiritual guidance. And considering the timing that he might be coming back, lead them on the quest out on beyond the plateau to conquer the world. See how it goes.
Right.
Well,
It's not really my plan, but that's what we want to try to actually avoid or mitigate when I get back.
but on the bright side, you have knowledge of the outer world that they desperately need to help with sacking, ravishing, and expanding their territories.
Yeah, that's right. Some might say that I'm currently on an intelligence and reconnaissance mission.
Right.
Not too unlike Drezel.
Yeah.
It's amusing how those two parallel to each other.
It's a bit scary, yes.
Okay, so you have travelled to the Sylvan Realm, which is the second Elven nation. They sort of put them down as eras, where Elfheim is technically the third Elven nation,
Mm-hmm.
Windar being the fourth.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to find out where I can put Shadow Elves, because Alfheim's probably not going to want them.
And
Let's face it, the second Elven realm is pretty bare, it's pretty vacant at the moment of elves.
as is the first Elven Realm.
Yes. Clearing them out so we can use them is going to go to be interesting.
Though the first Elven Realm is apparently where the South Pole is, roughly.
A little chilly.
Well, you're staying in shadow, that's all.
Well, that it just,
At least half the time.
if it's actually at the South Pole, it's yeah. That it's not actually useful.
Especially considering there's absolutely nowhere you can stand on the magnetic south or magnetic north of this world.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's hollow. That's where holes
that's where the entries are.
Yes. So we can have a floating city in the hole at the South Pole.
Where there's no magic.
Big umbrella. And a fan.
Technology would work, but no magic works in that area.
I know, and well, hey, they're elves.
As part of bringing back the shadow elves, they'll use the technology of Blackmoor to keep them upright.
Oh, and everyone else is going to so love that.
Okay, so you have been sent to the Sylvan Lands to save the Tree of Life, which the god Ilsundul tied to the Elven life force while he was mortal.
Mm-hmm.
So before he became a god, the Tree of Life had no meaning.
Yep.
But as part of becoming a god, he made the elves depend upon the tree.
Yes. Which may or may not have been a useful thing to do, but hey, it got him his deification, so he's fine.
Especially considering now the tree is dying and so are the elves.
And he's not doing anything directly about it.
Well, he has. He's sent
That's what we're
champions
for.
on.
Yeah, I know.
That's right,
No,
heroes.
he's not doing anything directly about it.
That is as direct as the gods are allowed
Yes,
to be.
they've got to do things at a secondary, at a second stage. He cannot do anything directly about it. You know, he can't do anything directly about it. He won't.
And let's face
So,
it, he's
when
been
you-
trying hard, because by the time he's sending us, we're pretty low on his list of opportunities. So,
Well, yes, consider this is something pretty major, covering an entire people, and they've got a bunch of level 8s doing it.
And,
well, we're talking about the idea of a bunch of mostly non-elves.
and,
Well, that too.
and a clan that's not part of his pantheon.
Yes. Well, yeah, I'm a part of a pantheon. The rest of you are just hangers on it.
No, the fact that the clan you belong to, because of the sword, is not part of his umbrella.
That's true too. What they'll do is they'll bring it under the umbrella, because I'm going to force him to do that.
Sorry. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for.
Okay, so
Can I find that?
you've been told to find 12
That's
keys,
second
and you've discovered that
No,
those keys
that's
are all in the
one.
shape of
Is it?
coins.
And that's second nature. I'll come in.
No.
Yes.
They're different colours.
And we have to get all of them, and they're all linked to each other, which means we can't just get one at a time. We've got to find out how to do things and then get the bits for the next
So
one.
you spoke.
I can't find that.
They're
Taking
not
notes.
physically inaccurate. It just turns out that you ought to get one. We're getting
I know
told
that.
to
I didn't say.
get the next.
I didn't say it was inherent to the coins. It's just
Okay.
that's the circumstance we've got.
Okay, so the nymph coin was supposedly held by the
Key, right?
coin key.
Oh, okay.
The
right.
keys are in the shape of coins.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
Was in the sorry.
The hands of the whale or something, wasn't he?
The narwhal?
It was believed to be in the hands of the narwhal, as described by the Undyne, who said that the narwhal had stolen it. The
Yeah.
Hydra's key was not on the dead Hydra's body that you found.
Yeah.
But remember also that the nymph said that she got the narwhal's key when trying to get her back again.
Yes,
Right.
But
and
wouldn't give it up until we could give hers back.
Yes.
yes,
We
and she-
have to make things right.
and you have to basically get her key back. And as the narwhal doesn't have a key either, he says if you can get him his key, he will bless it for you, so it will work.
Yes. So we've got to find that.
Then you went and found the eagle key, where you
Depended by the giant rock.
yep
Mm-hmm.
the almost deaf as a post rock.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't willing to give it up until we got the Chimera's key.
Deaf as a rock.
And yes, and he said if you can bring him the Chimera key, he will give you the eagle key.
But he
So-
did also.
So we're taking
Uh,
notes.
He did also provide a lot of information about the other keys and
Yes, which was very useful.
defenders and that kind of stuff. The fact that yes, we are
Yeah.
definitely expecting like defenders on each of the keys. So,
Yes.
As they were gifts from the probably more wildish sort of elves that the Sylvan Realm was based around. They were based around the High Elves, so it was a
Yeah.
High Elf kingdom,
Yes.
whereas
So-
Elfheim is a Wood Elf kingdom.
Yes. And then you get the Shadow Elves, which is sort of neither of those and both together.
The Shadow Elves was also considered a High Elf kingdom from the first Elven
Considered
civilization.
by, but they weren't necessarily the same people.
Originally they were the same people,
I know.
but it's
everyone
been,
descends from who they were, but then they disappeared and everyone else went. Yeah, they're not the same people, that's my point.
Ilsundal took a bunch
Yeah.
of the... He took apparently 6 of the 10 clans from the Blackmoor region to the Sylvan Realm to found the second Elven kingdom
Right.
from the Elven history.
Yeah.
And 4 of the clans didn't make it, which are the... out of the 10 clans, why there's only now 6 known clans.
Yep.
And they're sort of fragmented.
Mm.
And so the Wendar is the new High Elf kingdom.
Where's that?
That is north of Galantry.
Okay.
Currently overrun with undead because someone stole their magic jewel that helped keep the undead away.
Oh.
They did it out of session, and don't worry, it was a white dragon who's now gone into a desert away from anywhere that can take the jewel back. Ariadne's other character.
I was going to say that jewel isn't like a
Calrix.
green seed-like thing, is it?
It is exactly a green seed-like thing.
Yeah, I thought.
Well,
I know nothing about it.
On behalf of Calrix, I say, what seed like green gem? I know nothing. Want coffee?
right. Yeah. Where's the... You mentioned the Mount keyword. Where is that? In the DMG or...
It should be in the monster manual.
I couldn't find anything on keywords, or much on keywords.
I would either be at the start or somewhere
Oh, yeah,
else,
it'll be in the
or
intro.
it is something I remember that they incorporated more into Pathfinder than D&D. because they two blur. They're very intertwined, even though they're their own system.
Oh yeah.
And they take the concepts of one and explain what wasn't explained in the other one. And if you take those concepts, it makes sense for both of them. As scary as that is. So if you consider D&D and Pathfinder very much the same game, you're very close. Okay, so you were told of the 12 keys in total, which I'll go over again. You had the Manticore Key, the Eagle Key, the Chimera or Chimera Key, the Centaur's Key, the Griffin Key, the Warrior Key, the House Key, the Lizard Key, Justice Key. Of note, it's one of the ones that doesn't have the word Thar in front of it, whereas Centaur had an S at the end of it. So you've got one that was plural and one that wasn't specific.
Yeah.
And you got the Nymph Key, the Hydra Key, the Narwhal Key being all the different keys.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd point out the uniquenesses of their titles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it has no, big impact on what's going to happen to you.
And it also showed that there are 3 keys for each of the seasons, wasn't it?
That is correct, yes.
Yeah.
And the season you're currently in with the Centaur Key, or not the Centaur Key, the
I think we're in autumn.
Chimera Key. It's supposed to be in autumn, but amusingly, whoever did the map transposed the Centaur and the Chimera stars for the seasons.
Oh.
Yeah, it is quite amusing when you look at it going, they really should have just moved those into the other sections.
Yes.
Oh well.
So we'll just assume they got it right and ignore the map. So yeah, that is part of the reason I don't keep showing you half the maps, is because I look at them going, but that's wrong.
Yeah. Because your map maker is crap.
I think it was enthusiastic and things were done at the same time, rushed and put in, because you know what it's like when
Okay, so the editors are crap. Yeah.
Well, we know that for most role-playing books, the editors generally skip a lot.
Yeah. Or just don't know what they're looking at.
Okay.
Sorry, just side thing, that was one of the things that got me with the D&D 3 players handbook. It shows various bits of mundane equipment, and one of them is a wagon. Can you visualize the wagon? Do you remember seeing that wagon?
I think so. I think it described it as having 2 wheels, and the picture showing it as having 4, or the other way around.
It actually makes the distinction wagon and cart, which is valid. The problem with the wagon is it's got a perfectly normal Wayne body, as in relatively narrow, straight, designed for carrying whatever you want to put in it, sort of 17th to 19th century, with pre-biblical solid wood wheels made of sections of tree. I looked at that, I almost put the book down and went, nah. It was so bad.
Well, no, it's just an obvious indication of the fact that the wheel was quite a late invention.
No, because the Wayne's made using the same techniques as the wheels are. It's the equivalent of finding a modern car with wooden wheels on it.
Well, we now have airless tyres.
Painful.
We now have airless tyres being used more prevalently.
Yes, but they're not made of bits of tree trunk.
I know. But I thought I'd just make that, side note.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, last session you had defeated the Chimera. And we ended the session with you defeating the Chimera.
Yep.
Well, defeating ourselves, the Chimera had stolen, effectively.
That was true.
But we defeated the Chimera doing it. So we're much happy about things.
And did we find a key in the Chimera's cave?
No, we didn't.
And each of you gets a perception roll, though Duke gets advantage on the perception roll.
What?
For being the person who slayed the Chimera.
Rather than just because she's closest to the ground.
I got 18.
You got 18?
I think I got 18 as well.
Sorry, very bad short joke.
Wearing the wrong glasses.
17.
Yep, that's an 18. Plus advantage, which was...
You roll twice and take the best of the two.
Oh, okay.
Which is a...
I'll be taking the 18, thanks.
Which means more likely to get natural 20s when you have advantage. And I think you also had a bonus to that as well, if I can bring
I've got my sheet here, if that helps.
Is that the...
This is the one you gave me.
Yeah, it should be fairly close to that. Yep, it's got +7 on there.
Yeah, okay,
So 25, and Jeremy got 26.
Yep.
Always peeped by the tribesman.
Well, scouting is his original role.
He has no idea.
Okay, so as you're all looking around, apparently the tribesman had the high advantage to see the glintering of one of the keys you've been looking for in the forehead of the dragon statue.
Ooh. Cute place to put it. Nice find, that.
So,
But I'd say that also the Duke also notices it as well.
yep. Now this is actually the first of the keys we've actually seen, isn't it?
It is the first of the keys you've actually seen. It's the same shape as the indentation you saw in the dead Hydra's head.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And the same size as the openings you found around the portal you came in on.
Okay.
Right. So is it reachable from the ground by the tribesman?
No, you would actually have to climb up because the statue of the Chimera is life-size. Meaning it is about...
18 feet tall.
probably say closer to about
Box.
25 to 30.
Does anyone have climbing?
People
skills?
have ropes, people have climb, athletics.
Or athletics? Okay.
Yeah, so I could probably rig up a harness and I can
Yeah.
belay as Peridair climbs up there.
Not a deer.
Yep. So the tribesman's confident he'll be able to climb up the back of the.
So, how would you like to refer to your character at the moment, Jeremy?
I thought we decided on no idea.
Well, you decided no idea and nobody said no. So.
Oh, no, I mean a couple of games ago.
Oh, I know that.
We did. I'm just
Oh.
trying to confirm for
We
the
just
player.
made
Oh,
it.
Yeah.
okay.
Yes, just
Yeah.
no one's come up with anything better.
How would
Sorry,
the,
my Skype randomly dropped out at that point.
so how would the player like to refer to his character? The tribesman?
I'm referring to him as the tribesman. Or the,
Yeah,
think he's knocked out again.
the tribesman.
So apparently it's the tribesman because it dropped out as Jeremy was telling us the second option.
Yeah, there we go.
Skype has spoken.
Or not in this case. It's unspoken.
I don't know why Skype keeps dropping me.
It may also be the connections between us and you. Canberra's been really weird lately with power and internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what I was saying was that yes, the tribesman is confident that he'd be able to climb up the back of the statue to reach to the head if it looks like it's going to be solid enough to hold his weight.
Yeah.
And obviously, yes, if there's others there with supporting ropes or whatever, that would also be helpful.
Okay. So I will get you to make an athletics check with advantage.
Yeah, that's not so flash, but
Yeah.
15 total.
15 total. It is a bit of a struggle. You do manage to make it up there without falling flat down, but it did take you longer than you expected.
I was just taking advantage of the view, taking a look. And is the key something that can pop out of the forehead of the dragon's head easily, or is it
Well,
get
you
out with a wooden dagger?
give me a thievery roll.
Thievery, yeah. 23.
Okay, you actually managed to pull it out quite well, and as soon as it pops out, the ground you're standing on dissolves.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
So we're standing on something else, or are we now falling in a hole?
Well, no one else, I believe, climbed the Chimera except for.
Yes.
So the
So he
Chimera
wouldn't
fall.
is
The statue.
He now
the
falls.
Chimera dissolved in front of you.
Right.
That doesn't actually go into component pieces on the ground. It just fades away.
Yeah.
And
so you're in for like a
bit of a
10-foot
fall.
fall or something like that.
I will attempt to land as gracefully as possible with the unexpected disappearance of the statue beneath my feet and arms.
and all the handholds and rope holds that you're anchored to. So give me a acrobatics roll as you tumble.
You can land on me.
No problem whatsoever. Natural 20, so total of 29.
Okay.
Land gracefully without a concern.
So you see one of those Black Widow landings.
Falling
second.
with style.
Ooh. Sorry.
Did it happen?
Yeah. But don't forget,
I'm impressed.
Yes.
You
He's very
forgot
impressive.
to add the double somersault in the pike position with a half twist.
Which is very much the Black Widow landing.
I haven't actually seen Black Widow movie yet, but I was actually thinking when you said that, I thought of the superhero 3-point landing.
She pulls it off well, and if you do watch Black Widow, you'll note that they actually comment on how she poses on her landings very often.
Yes.
Right, okay.
It's a pose. It's not
I
just
make a
landing.
joke out of it, yeah.
Yeah.
I did actually buy the DVD at Christmas time. I've got to get around to watching it yet.
Yeah. I like the fact that Deadpool sees that and goes, "That's hell on your knees,"
Yeah.
because it is. Yeah. And all these landings are the fault of Underworld.
So the Tribesman does land safely.
He does.
Yes.
And you see in his hand is a glowing coin. I'll show
What
you
we are
guys.
after. Ooh, more
You
coin.
can see a symbol.
Yep.
Let's see if I can get it there with the 3. Yeah, I think I've almost got it.
There
You
we
can
go.
almost see it there in the light.
There
There we go.
Just found something that would be amusing as a companion for you.
So
And
it's
animated
like 4
An animated
circles
Mug.
connected
Yeah.
by a single line.
Yeah, that would be
It
funny.
looks a bit like a foliage clover, but
Oh yeah.
Very nice.
well,
I kind of can't
Actually,
wait to get my hearing aids now.
let's have one.
Yeah, more likely clockwork.
And it's actually
More
made
like
out
sorry.
of
clockwork buddy.
a strange sort of gold that you don't
Clockwork mouth.
recognize.
I will hand it off to Plural.
Okay.
As,
I'll keep track of things.
resident collector, and
He's
also
a
to
sort
hey,
of, sorry.
X that metal Stephen is a little bit strange.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, so as
Yes.
Llewell touches it, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Sorry.
Hey, at least I'm good at wisdom saving throws. That was cocked. 19? 18.
19. Okay, you hear the sound of a chimera in your head as you hold the coin. Everyone else sees your hair flare out behind you in as if someone's just shined a torch in your face with air blowing at you as you're holding the coin.
Okay, so what we really see is that his hair acts like he's cloaked.
Yes.
Very much so.
Yes, or like my hair does, except this time my cloak's not doing it.
And he lights up.
Okay, do I light up any particular colour? Or is it just sort of brighter than it was before?
I would say pick a color of autumn.
So, an orange.
An orange, you light up an orangey sort of glow that comes from the coin.
Okay. Does
I'm
this
guessing
happen
it's a
within-
real
Does
one.
this make him an Oompa Loompa?
Probably.
Tall one?
Very tall one.
Only for as long as the light's on.
True. Yeah.
And it stays lit up for about a minute before it fades.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
What do I get from the Chimera's call, apart from hi, I exist?
Probably it accepts you.
Okay. You're welcome. Cool.
Which is nice considering you'd think that the enemies of the nation would probably be destroyed by the coin.
Yeah, but the coin doesn't care about that. It's linked to the Chimera, and that's what we're here for.
Remember, the coins are technically they're all linked
Oh, yeah.
to protectors.
The coin is an artifact of Ilsa.
Yes. So I'm fully expecting to respond well to it.
Which is handy having him as a patron.
Oh yeah. Yes. Right.
So I'm guessing that this seems like what the rock was looking for. Perhaps we should
Go
return
straight
to the
back
rock.
to the
Go
go
back to
straight
the
back
rock.
to the rock rather than go for
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah.
I've been tinkering a hearing aid
Yes.
for the rock as well. In the
Yeah.
God, that just brought up the vision, you know, of the WWF. Can you smell what the rock is cooking? And he's gone like this.
Oh dear.
Literally. It's just a funny image.
Or just the Ghostbusters one they did for the third movie where it's like, I'm not going to listen to anything, and he just covers his eyes. I did find that show quite amusing in various ways. Though, if you've not seen the Afterlife follow-up, the Afterlife follow-up is also a very good closing of the original two movies.
Okay.
Though they sort of skipped the second movie in the storyline.
What am I looking at? Oh, a koala.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, look at one of its special abilities.
It's a special ability.
Useless.
Yes, the koala requires 16 hours of sleep to benefit from a long rest. In addition, after attacking, the koala suffers 1 level of exhaustion. That only works if they're using the original diet. It's actually counterable.
So we're heading back to the rock?
Yes.
You are heading back to the rock. You spend half a day.
And along the way we're taking a bit longer to get back because the tribesmen will aim to collect some more food for the hatchlings.
Okay.
So collecting food and tinkering hearing.
You spend
device.
an hour with tinkering devices and with collecting food. And you reach the nest of the rock the following morning. Just making sure I note down stuff.
I'm just gonna go get some of the relaxant things because
Yeah.
I might grab my Ventolin as well.
And I guess when we get to the edge of the tree line up the mountain,
Marvelous.
the tribesmen and Lani will again stay back while Plural and Duke
Yep.
go forward.
And you hear the really loud, "Elfling! You're back!" from up the mountain.
Yes, I yell at the same volume so he can hear it
Through the
through the magnifier. Yeah.
So even through the magnifying glass it says, "Speak up, don't talk quietly, son."
I hold up,
with
I hold
a
up a
higher
hand.
bellow.
I hold up a hand like this, and I will run up towards him, so I can do the same thing but from close.
Okay. So just so you know, his perception roll was a 5.
The rocks.
Yes, when he tried to yell back at him. So yes, you make it up to the rock, and he greets you again. Just loud. It's now a lot louder now because he's using the same volume he did to shout at you down at the trees.
Because he thinks everybody else is as deaf as he is.
Well, he's hearing it quietly in his ears.
Exactly.
He speaks your volume that he can
I know,
hear.
that's what I'm saying. So I'm going to have to inure myself to being part deafened. That's
well,
fine, I can
could
deal with
always
that.
hand over the hearing device up Tinkered, and that might make a difference.
Oh, that's definitely going to make a difference. I'm still going to be working at some volume though. But yes, he's obviously doing the friendly.
Okay, so let's see how. Apparently, the hearing device works well.
Oh, nice.
And you see his head twitching and looking around in various directions as he seems to be making him hear things he couldn't hear before.
I explain settings to help him or her, I'm guessing, actually.
And yes,
the
these
X?
things are
Most
actually
likely
things
her.
that can be
Yeah.
heard, it's just you're not doing so. That cat looks so blissful.
Well, it's one of his
Yes.
most favourite things is to sit in Ariadne's arms like that and get patted.
Well, yeah, but just the look on his face from this direction
Yeah.
was sort of,
It's his favourite spot.
this is my entire week.
Yeah.
You've got until next week to stop doing this.
Which for me, he likes to stretch
He
out on the
gets
ground
really
and be romped by
annoyed
me.
when I won't pick him up and do it because sometimes I'm too sore or too tired.
Oh yeah,
And
oh,
he starts yelling at me.
yeah. Sarge yells at me when he wants to get picked up. So does Tash. She comes into the study and comes up to me and goes, "Meow."
Yeah, he does
And that's
that too.
actually, hi, I need to get picked up and cuddled.
Yeah.
So, you're there with the rock. It's been given the earpiece.
Yep.
It seems to work for
I
it.
probably would have made a pair just to balance out things.
At this stage, you'll say you've only had time to make one.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright. Well, I'll intend to make a pair because
Yeah.
after my
Well-
hearing aid test, the audiologist has explained to me why you might need two.
Yes. But in his case, it's sort of, you've got a headpiece for him because he's got no hands.
Mm.
So it's just another hearing aid for the other side of the headpiece.
Yeah.
He God's what I could do with an animated hat.
So I gather you
Anyway,
present the
I
Chimera
present.
Key coin thing?
I tell him that we have succeeded in our mission, and I have here the Chimera Key, which has responded to my presence with great pleasure, apparently.
Oompa Looping Glow.
And he starts to boom out an answer, and then he stops, looking confused.
With the hearing aid, you don't need to yell quite so much. The universe is not as quiet as it was. It doesn't need to be informed.
Well, now it's got to yell over all the other sound he's hearing.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just sort of breaking it gently to him.
That's okay. He had his wisdom check. He rolled a 3.
Does further explanation on my part help?
You got a 4.
Crap. Slightly.
But that's
So yes, it
okay,
helped.
'cause he's got a wisdom of 72, so the overall total there is...
Yeah, okay.
I think you've got my monster manual over
I
there.
do. It's here.
I suspect the wisdom is... Well, the wisdom of a standard rock is probably about the 12 mark.
Yeah, no, I think
which
you're
means
right.
a +1.
That's right.
Plus any modifier for his hit dice.
But obviously, this is a particularly wise rock, having been chosen as protected by Uthilda.
Oh yes.
Okay,
But
so
he keeps rolling sub 5 on the D20.
I think I managed to get him up to 6.
Up. Yeah. No.
So he sort of does a lot of strange twirls and sounds as he's enjoying hearing himself speak and dancing around the nest, not really paying attention to where his feet are going.
Hopefully the rock baby survive.
Yeah.
Well,
the rock
he's
babies
used
might be fine, it's you guys that might be in trouble.
he's used to where they are. So
Okay.
you get to
Oh.
make dexterity saving throws as big claws are moving nearby without paying attention.
So D20 again, I'm guessing?
It's a d20 again.
Yeah.
Just hide under the babies.
Do I get any pluses to my dex? Oh, +3. So 11.
11's not too bad.
Yeah, could be worse.
Not like he's intending to kill you. How did Llewell go on his dexterity saving throw?
Better than the rock. 12.
12. Okay, so you and
Yeah.
the Mad Bomber dive out of the way of the feet as they
Yeah.
start going everywhere. As he seemed to be doing the equivalent of a happy dance on top of the mountain.
I've got a lot of experience at diving away from bombs.
Yes. And he's bombing with his feet.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you can always imagine happy feet done by an eagle of
Um,
unusual size.
of unusual
I'm
size,
sure
yes.
Me
I-
and the tribesmen
Oof.
can feel the ground slightly shaking.
Not only can you feel it, you can see it.
Yeah,
That's right.
ground's moving, puffs of dirt coming up.
It's a bit like my car when the volume's up really loud.
The trees all shaking in rhythm to his dancing.
I've seen a wedge-tailed eagle dancing. It's pretty impressive.
Mm.
Imagining the same thing at 10 times the height. Yeah.
And lots of
See-
colour too.
Terrifyingly beautiful.
Yes.
All the conversation has still been yelling volume up to that point, hasn't it?
Yep.
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 So therefore, we're not actually thinking from our distance, from our spot, that, oh, he's trying to stamp on them and kill them that way.
No, he's not.
He's dancing to the sound of his own voice.
And
It's
you
she. We established she's a she.
and you're hearing all strange sounds coming from the rock. Before it just been talking, now it's making all these clicking and apparently happy noises from the tribesman's perspective.
I'm sure all the pretty bird noises.
All the pretty bird noises,
Yep.
plumage up and everything.
We take it that she's happy.
It goes on for a whole 10 minutes.
Wait it out. You know, it's no one's going to limit somebody else's joy. I don't think.
No, I'm going to applaud.
Yeah.
He's having a joyful time, and
Ooh.
it's a good thing.
Can I throw a sparkle ball
You can throw a sparkle.
just to like celebrate the
Don't-
occasion?
don't
Do I
you-
need to roll for that?
Nope, you can just throw it.
Don't hit him with it.
No, just a general.
And very specifically, don't hit me with it.
Okay, as the sparkle bomb goes
You might
off,
get a bit glittery.
the rock stops and stares at you.
I was celebrating with you.
tribesman-
I can't sing, so you know.
The tribesman will pull out his whistle and play along with the tune.
Hmm.
Whether the rock will hear it, different question entirely, but...
As you played, it also seems to swivel and look at the tribesman because it can hear you down the mountain now.
Yep.
Hopefully this is all good. We'll find out.
So, a little more muted, it says, Elfling, have you succeeded in bringing food for my young?
That'll be the tribesman.
Are you
Yes.
feeding me the tribesman, it says?
No, the tribesman has the food for your younglings.
Okay.
We've been collectively
How,
trying
how many
together.
how many deer did we end up with?
No deal at all.
No. How much food did we get?
He was going from one to small items, because, hey, he's not going to offer deer from his tribe.
Well,
It's his totem animal,
Yeah,
he's not
That's-
going to kill it.
That's very true.
so it'll be other.
Here's a large. Here's a large.
Small witch creatures as a general rule. So
Right,
rabbits
so-
and black,
so-
rabbits and creatures.
So I wave you up, and you turn up with a large 2 sacks of rabbits,
Okay.
which is fine. As long as we have the mass of meat, we're okay.
And the rock young, even though they are extremely large compared to you, the size of a draft horse, are quite happy to munch on the various animals you provide, considering for them a whole animal is a bite.
Oh yeah.
And you do note that their colours are, while muted, are looking like they're stronger and more vibrant than they were last time you were here.
Cool. Sorry, side thing. I just saw one of the things on the awakened mug.
Mm-hmm.
The awakened mug can talk if you put alphabet soup in it.
Yeah.
And it will then use its ability to talk to complain about not being full of ale.
I'd be in a lot of trouble with me because it'd be full of coffee.
Well, yeah. And it wouldn't be able to complain about it because you're not putting coffee in it with alphabet soup in it.
Oh god, no.
Unless, of course, Drizzle's around. I'm sure he wouldn't mind,
Yeah.
dropping little bits of letters in there.
Drizzle, I wouldn't mind, but yeah. So you pass over the food. The rocks look a bit better. Do we show the Chimera coin to the rock?
Yes, once it's had the food and it's settled down and sort of, yes, my kids are fine. I've had me dance and it's calmed down a bit. We'll then present the coin.
Okay. As you present the coin, you have the whole light up again and hair billow at the same time again.
Yes.
and it just stares at you for a moment, and you see the chest amongst the hatchlings pop open.
Ooh.
Inst-
Without moving the coin, I look into the chest.
Inside it has another coin. This one almost looks like a V symbol. So
The
it's
eagle
that one. The
coin?
eagle coin.
Okay. Yep.
So if
So,
that will work on there,
there.
it's that coin there.
Okay, yep. Apparently made of the same material.
Made of the same material.
The Tribesman's happy to allow, presumably, Coral to pick it up.
Yep.
So another wisdom saving throw.
To avoid being overwhelmed. I am overwhelmed.
What'd you get?
1.
You got a 1. Okay, so you now imagine life as an eagle. From hatchling to having your own little eggs, nest, mating, the entire gambit of the entire life cycle of an eagle. As if you experienced it moment by moment.
Mm-hmm. The life of
An
the
eagle
eagle.
as opposed to a rock.
An eagle specifically, yes.
Well, the rock's just a really big eagle, so
Well, no. The big difference is
I'm
it'll
not.
take a lot less
Well,
time to go through the life of an eagle than it would go through the life of a rock.
that's the thing. The only difference is an eagle goes for rabbits and a rock goes for elephants. They're apart from that, they're basically the same, as long as you're not going with the old Greek stories.
But the rock lives a lot longer, so it'll take you a lot longer to go through his life.
Yeah, but it's still going to be accelerated because an eagle will live for a human generation.
So its life is over long before you'd expect, considering your elven livelihood. And then you notice that you're still in the same moment you're picking the coin up.
Yes, that I was actually expecting.
I was going to say,
So-
so the rest of us don't actually notice anything.
He does space out when he picks the coin up.
I pick it up and sort of stand there and look at it for like a couple of rounds or a minute. Well, last time it happened for a minute, so I'd say this would as well.
But no glowing hair or flowing.
Oh, the hair happened.
The hair and the flowing happens. This time it's more of a red than an orange.
Yeah. Yes.
Should we seek advice as to where to find maybe the Manticore Key, which is number 1, or any of the other keys,
Anything
really?
else?
You were told that the Manticore Key should be on the mountain that the path passes between before heading back to the city.
Thank you.
Yep.
Further along the road after the Chimera.
Because most people are taught to keep to the road.
Yes.
I'm guessing. Can we actually see the mountain from the top? From the top of this mountain, can we see the mountain with the Manticore Key?
You can.
So we
It's
could
bigger.
go cross country, but I'm not recommending it.
So
Alrighty.
that's the
Which one's that one there?
Dragon
Clockwork-
Forge.
The Clockwork Buddy, the dragon one, rather than the bird.
Perhaps
Yeah.
it's
So, yeah,
worth
we-
checking with the rock. Now that you carry 2 coins,
Yes.
to confirm whether or not there's any concerns about storing them together or anything. Do they need to be stored or maintained in any special way?
I'll hold one in each hand and see what I end up with.
You're glowing red and orange for a moment.
I'm suggesting asking the rock. You've been willing to provide a lot of other advice about the
That's true.
objectives.
Yep. So I'm going to look at the coins. If you want to ask Rock, actually no, I'll ask Rock when I'm done. Is there any consideration about carrying these together, holding them together, anything of the kind? Do they have to be kept apart?
He stares at you rather shrewdly. So okay, he actually rolled an 18 on his staring. And he says to you, you are the first person he knows who has more than one coin.
So nobody knows.
You haven't died yet.
That's very true. I hope.
You may be sterile, but you haven't died. Magic has its penalties.
And most things like that are fixable.
So,
That's okay.
cut them in half and see if they grew.
Well, I've got one in each hand at the moment. I'll just put one on top of the other one. Hold it in one hand. The universe does not explode, I take it.
Doesn't explode, but it doesn't sound like metal on metal.
Well, that's not entirely surprising. They're probably almost pure magic. And fey magic at that. So if there's going to be any sound, it's going to sound like tuned wood.
Well, it more sounds like closer to the fireworks that you heard that when the sparkle was going off
Yeah.
than it did to metal or item on item.
Okay. So sort of cracking, sparking, noise.
Crackling sort of noise.
Okay.
So what I said is that rather than a world-shattering kaboom, it was just a minor kaboom that'll obviously exponentially increase every time we add another coin.
Quite possibly.
Well, we'll find out with the third one. If it's exponential, we can't afford the fourth one.
All good.
Makes a great slingshot weapon. First one doesn't really hurt. Second one gets worse. Third one
punches a hole through you, and the fourth one will take down the castle you're in.
So just a quick reminder, the rock told us that the Manticore one was near the tallest mountain where the palace of the bad guy. Moorcroft? Yep. And there is a path that we could take going towards it that would take us by the Griffin Fields, which is another key we need.
Yes.
So perhaps maybe ask her for any advice about navigating the Griffin Fields and getting the Manticore Key.
I like this plan. So
Yes.
yeah, if Lua would maybe ask that advice,
Yeah.
so we can be on our way.
Yes.
Or
I will do.
possibly even just a lift over the Manticore Mountain.
That would
Oh,
be fancy.
yeah,
That as well. That would be cool. I'll ask for the first and then the second.
So the first time it reminds you that it doesn't like the other guardians that well,
Yeah.
and it does find the Griffin Fields to be rather annoying
Right.
because they don't shut up.
She doesn't have to stay there, she just drop us control. And she doesn't have to carry the other guys.
And she's more than happy to carry the elf and the gnome.
But not anyone else.
Well, she won't deal with humans.
No.
What if
That's right. We've already established that.
we use a bit of shell casing as a basket and put them in that?
Doesn't want to
It
help
doesn't
humans in
like
any
it. It'll
way.
only take a few
Okay.
days to actually get to the Manticore Mountain.
We're going to be
Okay.
on foot.
And,
Yeah, we'll
and
have to go on foot.
basically, you've got the concession from her that she will not attack the humans with you,
Yeah, no,
where
that's
she
okay.
would normally do so.
Fair enough. That's all
Yeah.
good. Does she have any advice about how we go about dealing with the griffins?
I'm sure talking to them will go well, she says, looking at Llewell.
Okay. And what about the Manticore?
You could try that too, but they don't talk well.
In her great experience, is there any tips that she might give us so that we don't die?
Don't talk to them?
Given that we need the key,
Yeah.
the key.
I promise to return at some point and bring the other earpiece, and I'm happy to go if everybody else is happy to go. And also thank her for her time and tolerance.
She can see that there are 3 patrolling the hillside.
3.
Manticores.
Oh, okay. Patrolling which hillside?
The one that is
What
their
we're
home.
going to.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's really good.
It'll be a few days away. Is there, a quick one that might be worth checking with the Clue would be,
Yeah.
are there any of the Guardians that she would be disappointed if they were to be unable to continue their guardianship duties? I.e., if we do come across them and they're hostile, are they concerned about killing any of the Guardians in particular?
Okay, so do you ask?
So, yeah, I will ask that one.
Like, I mean, by the sound of it, she's not especially happy or with the Manticores, but that might just be don't care enough to worry about them, but don't want them dead. Or,
Yeah.
hey, yeah, kill them, get rid of them.
Yeah. Well, we did do that with the Shimmerer, so
Except it wasn't actually living.
no, that's true.
She does say that only 2 others she knows of are the original Guardians,
Yeah.
and she's not an original Guardian.
Okay.
She's
So-
just old.
So,
Is that 2 of the Manticore or 2 other
2 of the
Guardians?
other
Guardians.
Guardians are
All together.
original, and it's the nature of life that things die. The elves taught that.
Mm.
Everything has its time.
Can we get any more information about the 2 she knows of, or does that include the Griffin and the Manticore? And I'm just getting confused.
Okay, so the 2 she says that are original Guardians are the Nymph and the
No.
Nala
right.
Guardians.
All good.
Yep. Sorry, this is ridiculously cute. Companion. It's basically a micro Tarrasque. As a construct.
Nymph and the Narwhal. That's right.
So,
Okay.
Weirdness.
Shall we start towards the Griffin Fields?
We shall do that very thing.
Yep, we'll follow the path.
Well, the
The
path goes to the Manticore
First?
before it goes to the
Oh,
Griffin
okay,
Fields.
because I thought I made a note
The
here.
Griffin Fields are to the south of the city, and the path you follow goes into the west of the city
Yeah, so
while passing through the Manticore Mountain.
Right.
Yeah, so we were at the city, we went north, we've done the big loop to the north and the western side, and then we're coming back in the western side of the city, and then we go south into the Griffin Fields, and then down to the castle. At Morcom.
I questioned Martin on this previous game, and I wrote down what he said, which was, we follow the path south from the city, which will lead us to the Elven Palace in the middle of 2 rivers. We'd enter the city from the west, and then I put down, we can possibly go past the Griffin Fields if we take the long way around.
That is fairly close,
Yeah.
except you're not in the Elven City at the moment.
Yeah, we haven't
alright.
got back to the city yet,
Okay,
actually.
yeah, alright.
So you have to enter the city from the west,
so-
following the path you're doing,
Return to the city.
and returning to the city passes you right past the Manticores.
Which apparently there are 3 of them at the present time, although obviously that took a couple of days public notice, so that might well have changed by the time I get there.
Yes.
But we know there are at least 3, not just 1.
At least 3,
Yes.
and they're, from my understanding of what the rock said, they're if we can talk to them, great. If we can't, it doesn't matter if we kill them.
Yeah.
Preferably avoid getting killed by them.
Yep.
Alright, let's go.
Yes.
Start journeying along.
Okay. You spend quite a few days journeying along the path.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, each square is 2 miles, each hex.
I still figure we're probably moving faster along the road, going a long way round than we would if we went cross country.
So that would be 46 miles, roughly 2 days travel to get there.
Yeah. And hey, we can got a nice safe resting point in the Chimera Cave
Yeah.
overnight. I'm sure that's going to be safe.
I like your optimism, but I think we should set a watch anyway.
Drazzle asks if you can make a watch. So you could then set watch.
Well, I meant like sentries watching over.
You can make sentries too.
You can time them and have an alarm with your constructs to make sure the watch changes happen at the right time.
I do my best to explain to Drazzle that each one of us would spend a portion of the evening awake while the others are asleep to look out for danger.
He points at the wells and says he's not asleep.
Best.
Having
All rest.
campfire going and got the effective place for people to say the tribesman has taken a watch position away from the campfire, away from this conversation.
So you always know who's on first watch.
Yeah.
Lonnie encourages this by fully supporting whatever Drazzle's saying and just laughing her ass off the whole time.
Yep, that's fine. That's all good.
And he's so earnest in his questions and asking. It's basically very childlike in his innocence in the way he asks.
I'm very happy to continue to explain, regardless of how many "but why" I get.
And how he seems to take words out of context because he doesn't really understand the context of most words.
So what I'm hearing is that the tribesman on the first watch is a long watch.
And we don't set Drazzle to do a watch.
No. You spend the whole time writing.
Yes. And
Well, he'll write down exactly what he sees as it creeps up and as it murders someone in their sleep.
yeah.
Which is worse.
Even in details of how it murders them.
Well, at least there's a record of the passing.
True.
Drazzle, what was the job you were given?
His response would be to watch.
Right.
This might end up going in
This
circles.
is a terminology thing.
This is why he's rarely on watch.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Because if we're using him, he's on guard.
He's never been assigned to watch.
Yeah. Well, no, he has. But he's been assigned...
Not alone.
But he wasn't... No, well, not alone. But he wasn't assigned a watch. He was assigned a guard.
Yep.
You learned that the first few times you assigned him to watch.
Yes.
I gather we make it okay?
You make it okay because nothing really wants to come near some beast that sucks your life force away and then takes off with
What, Drazzle?
No.
it. The Chimera.
Yeah.
Nothing lives near the cave.
No.
It's
The reputation's still there, even if the Chimera is not.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Right.
And then the next day,
right.
you travel towards it. As you get closer, you can see multiple manticores in the air. And they seem to...
Oh my god.
If you'd like, I can put 15 in the air.
Yeah,
Just to
no.
make Jeremy happy.
And they,
And
No,
total party kill.
we're not going to do something just to make one player happy.
It's fine.
I wouldn't say I was happy about it. Mum said there's medicals in the air and rolled the dice. I thought, oh my god, there's 15 of them.
And he was only rolling a d4.
Okay, so yes, you look and you see that there are a bunch of manticores in the air.
More than 3?
More than 3.
Oh wow.
And they are calling out to each other.
Can we understand it?
Give me a perception roll.
Well, we're still technically...
Could you put the internets on, please?
Actually, I can't because we broke internet. and I haven't managed to get the internet back up and working properly yet. It's still half broken and half working.
Right.
I am technically deaf.
What'd you get?
1.
A 1. Okay. You're busily tinkering with your hearing aid
Yep, I'm
and getting
oblivious right now.
causing it to put out some back noise.
Oh, Jesus.
So you know that squeaky, high-pitched mouse on the chalkboard sound?
Oh,
Yuck.
Right in the middle of the party.
no. Oops.
Now, we're still technically under cover of trees at the moment, though?
You are
actually out towards the mountain is?
You are technically under cover of trees, making lots of noise.
Can I try and stop making lots of noise?
Manticore's noticing the noise?
Well, basically, while you're looking up there at them, you hear the noise, you all turn, and then you turn back, and what's your perception roll?
19 for the Tribesman.
The tribesman,
12.
the tribesman does notice the Manticores seem to be circling towards you. Lani is a bit distracted by the noise in her ear.
Does anyone try and help me stop the noise?
How is Llewell doing?
Trying to insight. Oops. 16.
You also notice the Manticores seem to be circling towards you. And you notice that there are at least 4 in the air at the moment.
Tribesman will call out to the others as he fades into the forest off the side of the road. Take cover, they're coming.
Can I attempt to throw up a smoke/cloud bomb around me?
Yep.
Do I need to roll for that?
No, I'll just say you drop a cloud bomb at your feet and there's a nice big cloud around you.
How big is that, though?
Size of a gnome.
Really?
Probably about
One square.
all the squares around you.
Oh, okay. All
Oh,
right.
okay, so 10-foot square. It's not
Yeah.
too bad.
So first you
15
sent out
foot.
the whistle, which was code for follow green smoke, and then drop the green smoke.
Yep.
No, it wasn't green. It was like a
Multicolored?
cloud bomb, basically, like a dust bomb.
Dust bomb. Okay.
Yeah, so I could go and hide because...
Stink bomb.
Let's add a little bit of that to it, just in case it might put them off.
Okay, so there is the smell of sulfur as well with the smoke.
Sorry.
But yeah, like I said, the tribesman is basically
Oh, you
taking
dodged.
shelter in the trees, aiming for a hiding spot.
Okay.
And he's got his bow ready to fire if when they come in range.
Lonnie will take cover by the nearest tree. That may or may not be the correct width, but she will have her trident semi-ready.
Okay, so the nearest tree you could probably lie feet to head and still not be as wide as the tree.
Okay.
Because most of the trees in this forest are unusually large compared to where you come from.
Okay, cool.
Basically, you think most of these trees were planted long before your country was even inhabited.
Okay.
That's how old this place is.
So super old.
Super
Cool.
old.
So yeah, she'll take the nearest trees that she can get within melee range should they land where the bomb is.
Okay. There's the bomb's right in the middle of the path, by the way.
Yeah.
And so, what is Llewell doing now that you've seen that there's a smoke bomb smelling of sulfur right behind you, and Drazzle's just breathing it in.
I'm presuming it gives us cover.
Yeah, it's meant to
concealment.
give us cover to go and hide in.
Yeah, one would expect to do that, because
And
otherwise
you-
they'll just go, let's just land on the cloud.
You've noticed that your tribesman has disappeared to the north of the path, and your sailor has disappeared to the south of the path.
Well, I fully expect... Yeah, I fully expect our cleric to successfully and usefully hide in a bush. That's what this is for. I'll get to cover.
Okay. So you go off the path? Or you step into the cloud?
I'm actually going to go off the path. Because the cloud, it's small enough, the cloud's now a target point. It's useful to us, but at present it's not. It's the safest place to not be.
Okay. As you head off, you hear Drizzle chanting some sort of spell.
Hopefully
Okay.
that's good news.
He doesn't do it very often.
So it's unusual news. Don't know if it's good or not.
And
Will
then
we roll an Arcana check to see what kind of spell he's...
you can do an Arcana check or a religion
Alright.
check.
Yep.
Alright, I'm bad at this, but anyway.
Too busy hiding.
What did Lani get?
Oh, I've got
11.
apparently.
11. You didn't recognize what he was calling.
Okay.
You can make a check if you wish to.
That doesn't look very good. 3 plus 8.
You don't recognize what he's doing either. Did Pray, do you wish to pay attention?
He's not watching. He's not listening to Dragon. He's watching the approaching Manticores and lining them up and getting ready to shoot when they come in range.
To be honest, that's not unusual.
He's got decent range.
Okay, so what is your range?
Maximum range is 660.
Okay, so they reach your disadvantage range. That was where I had some massage oil put on it.
Although I don't get disadvantage because I've it's supposed to be an active sharpshooter, so he doesn't get disadvantage for range.
I figured about that, so you have to remind me.
That's right, that's right. I have to remind myself, but I'm sure there's something you have in his bow. Oh, that's right, yes. So they're still coming, there's 3 of them still coming towards us, or 4 of them?
You can count 4 of them coming towards you.
Yep. And so, yeah. When and they're fairly bunched, are they, or like what sort of space is between them while they're flying?
There's probably about 10 to 50 feet between them.
Depends on the wingspan, I guess.
I will wait for the rearmost one to get within my maximum range.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least well within maximum range. So I'll probably at the 600 feet mark type stuff. So I'm choking a bit more carefully. Or with the leeway, I should say. And then I will aim to take a shot at the rearmost Manticore.
Okay. So you get to go first.
Yep. And a natural 20 is going to be a nice shot, hopefully.
It is a nice shot. So you get a critical
hit.
hit.
27 on the thing. So, no, sorry, 22. So,
a good thing for 5th edition that whether or not it's lower than its armor class, it's still a crit hit.
Yeah. And we don't confirm crits or anything like that in 5th, do we?
Do you not need to? We don't get them that often, but they are.
I think so.
It's probably your first one in quite a while.
This is why I'm becoming, I think, hang on, had a crit work again?
I reckon you've had more crits than Jeremy has in his character.
So yeah, it's basically it's straight double damage.
Considering like
Yep.
what, 3 games, 4 games in? I missed one because I was sick.
That makes 10, 14, 24, 48 points of damage.
48 points of damage.
Quite reasonable amount.
Okay.
Well, that's a natural 20 and having used his the Archer version of power attack.
Okay, he spirals down to the ground, having taken enough damage to knock him out of the air.
Brilliant.
Do the others appear to notice the falling of their rearmost companion?
They do,
Oh well.
because he does scream the way
Yeah,
down.
fair enough.
So he's hard to miss.
And so the front one continues his attack on the obviously horrible glowing
Vicious beast.
no, the smoky thing in the center of the path, which is obviously terrible.
Obviously terrible because it's hurt his friend.
Ancient method, or they could give their spines.
And with its spine, and so you see spines go flying into the cloud, but it doesn't seem to hit anyone.
Right. So I scream really loudly because I'm not very far away. To fake it out, to think that it worked.
Sure, give me a deception roll.
Okay.
Because the good thing about blocking line of sight is they have a 50% mischance.
Yep. Well, by the way, just while making this roll, the stuff on the mount keyword and so on, that's all Pathfinder.
Mm.
The only thing that 5th Ed does is if it has a mount keyword, then things that directly interact with the mount keyword, like magic items that are used for mounts, are used for that.
Okay.
No animal inherently has the mount keyword.
Not even horse.
Nope, not even horses. You assign it basically when you buy it as a mount.
So anything can have it.
What it means is that a horse, even if it's trained to ride, can't use a magic item that is for mounts unless it's being used as a mount or has been got as a mount. If it's been trained, then it's just a horse until someone buys it as a mount. That's the way the magic's the way it's set up to work.
Does make it strange.
It does make it very strange.
Your deception roll to make it think that it's not coming from your square but from the smoke.
Yes, this is fortunately I'm trained in this, but this is where I attempt to be a Decepticon.
Just be careful what you transform into.
A Manticore.
Well, maybe they're all male manticores looking for a mate.
They need
And you accidentally turn into a female one.
Quick cast an illusion, make yourself look like a male one.
You'd want to be real fast on that one.
Yeah, I do. 19.
19. Okay. I believe that beats their passive perception.
I would say so. Their passive perception isn't going to be huge.
No, it is 11. So yes, it continues its 2 more strikes at the cloud. Okay, so that one would have hit if it had have hit a high enough armor class. Tink bounces off the gnomish protection. Unfortunately, that was a direct strike on our gnome
Ouch.
with a critical hit.
Ah.
Ow.
That's probably one of the few ways it was actually going to hit the gnome.
That's alright.
And the sad thing is, it hit the gnome with the 50% success on the crit.
Do I get any retaliation? Or
At this stage, you take
I just take damage?
Yeah.
24 points of piercing damage as one of its spines goes through you.
Ow.
You bleed in retaliation.
Yes.
I just meant maybe if I've got a dodge or something like that.
Unfortunately,
No.
you've,
That's what I said.
That's your armor class.
the next one fires off at the archer who took out his friend. Can he see him? He does not. He spends his actions trying to find the person who shot his friend. The third one lands in front of the smoke, giving Lani her reaction because she said she was going to charge in and attack
So you can
when
make him
it
now.
landed.
Yep.
He had a perception roll of 3.
I will throw the trident as, like,
Oh no.
as that, because then from there, when I do get actions, we'll be being closer.
Yes, the
So
mimic is fantastic.
18.
18 is a hit.
Alright.
Mimcat. It's a Min.
That is.
Yep.
It looks like a book.
I've done some research on those.
Yeah.
I wanted a carnivorous plant mimic companion.
10
Yeah.
damage.
10 damage? Okay, so yes, you hit him quite well for 10 damage. Unfortunately, you only get one attack because you were
Yep.
holding yourself.
Yep.
And I will then ask people for initiative. Now that you've gone through the waiting.
8.
Initiative of 18.
Yes,
Quick question,
Dylan?
Martin.
Yep.
The one that the tribesman hit, we saw it go down. Did
Yep.
it go down uncontrolled, so we could be confident it would have actually taken more damage than it landed and probably dead?
You think it did control itself down because you didn't
The
take
system
it.
is designed as a servant.
But it was in pain the whole way
One
down.
of those at home.
You could actually hear it swearing the
And its attack
entire way
point
down. It was
is
swearing like a
irritate.
true
Okay, probably not dead then.
Yeah, I'd set that on the car dealers.
Yes.
Uh,
I think it's
initiative
useful
14 for the tribesman.
Tribesman got
Saves
14. How did Lani go?
But you are not. It annoys the hell out of them.
18.
And
How
it affects
did
all
Luell go
their
for the
attack
initiative?
and skill checks.
I got an 8,
So-
sorry.
You got
Oh,
an 8.
yeah. And 14.
And 14. And they got 11. Okay, so that means Lani is up first. There is one of them on the ground in front of the big cloud, staring at it confused as the cloud's starting to dissipate.
So I'll go ahead, I'll throw. Can I throw my trident? Run as my trident magically comes back to me so that I can hit two-handed
Yep,
in melee range?
you can.
You could just run forward first and then hit.
Yeah, but that's not as cool.
Okay.
So, I'm trying to do that.
Absolutely. It's one of the things you do. There's much line be cool by moving and attacking and moving and attacking and all.
Yes.
Yeah, because movement is on your turn, not your action.
Does a 13 hit?
A 13 just flies past it. It turns and watches your trident go past to just disappear and appear in your hand as you get to stab at it.
Okay, second attack. Let's try again. Why are you doing this? 14.
14 is the magic number, which means you missed by one last action.
Okay, perfect. So this is with two hands. So d8s. Somewhat helpful. 12 damage. Yep, 12 damage.
So it takes damage. Did you wish to use an action surge?
I think I might save that.
That is fine. I just thought I'd ask.
Yep.
Okay. Then who would like to go next? Either the Tribesman or Luell?
I'll go. I'll try and knock one out of the air using my Eldritch Blast because that's what I'm here for.
There are two within about 100 feet.
I'm going to do all three shots on one of them. Make sure I'm using the right pieces. Yep. Okay. Yeah. 18.
18 is a hit.
Cool. That's 6 points worth of force damage. On AC, I'm specific. 16.
Is a hit.
8 points. And 16 again.
Also a hit.
7 points.
So 21 points of damage in the round is not bad.
Yep, and knockback 30 feet total. So 10 foot per shot. Not that it's going to affect it, but it's going to piss it off being knocked back.
How far does your Eldritch Blast go?
120 feet.
So if it was about 100 feet, then your third shot doesn't hit it.
If it's that far away, I'm not going to use knockback on the first one.
Okay.
But it does mean that if it's going to manoeuvre from there, it's going to be harder.
All good.
Yes.
Okay, so the tribesman is now up.
Yep, I'm going to... so the one on the ground is hurt moderately at the moment.
You can see the one in front of the gas cloud being attacked by the lightning trident is hurt. The one that you hit from a distance is up the road, looking at the arrow in itself with confusion. And
it's obviously still probably at least 500 odd feet away or something. So.
About that, and you see one of the flying ones is flying against his wings as he's being knocked backwards by some blasts, and there is another one circling around with that look of I don't know what the hell's going on.
Okay, I reckon I can try and knock the one out of the air again. I'm going to use a bonus action for steady aim, and then take a shot at the undamaged flying one, using my minus 5 to hit to get plus 10 damage.
Okay, you get advantage because he has no idea you're there. And sneak it.
Okay, I mean, that means I'm probably going to use the bonus action either way, because the bonus action will give me advantage, so that's cool. I'm happy I've got advantage. I'll take the 19 as opposed to the 6, which will hit AC 21.
That is a good hit. Shame it's not Pathfinder, because that would be a crit in Pathfinder.
Yeah.
3.5.
Oh, well, it's 10 above the number.
Yeah.
It's actually only 7 above the number, but it's 10.
It sounded good. Yeah. It's a good hit.
Okay. Where are we? 4, 8, 12, 22, 32, 35 points of damage.
Okay, he falls very gracefully out of the air and lands on the path.
On the what? On the path, right?
Yeah.
I thought they said on the car front. I thought, what car?
That isn't quite the magical item.
Yes.
And... yep. I won't move because I would say I'll use the steady aim anyway, so happy with that.
Okay.
I just found an amazing companion.
Which one?
The Bonsai Tree.
Yes, he is very cute.
I want that.
Yes.
Don't we all?
That sounds so cute.
It is cute.
It's very much the I Am Groot as the pop
Yeah.
Yes.
But when you say bonsai, are they using it in the sense of...
No. Bonsai, not bonsai, not banzai.
No, but I'm talking, are they using the terms that the old copper art adds for Victoria?
I very much doubt it. I very much doubt it. This was not written then or there.
No, but one thing I remember from years ago, they talked about the copper art, which was like a reject shop type thing. And they advertised selling large bonsai. I thought, what, trees?
Yep.
That's really funny.
Yes. I've never.
The sad thing is that I know exactly which store you're talking about.
Yeah.
I once bought one of those blendy thingies from it because somebody told me that I really should. I think it was a dietitian or something, and it turned out to be a waste of money.
Yeah. Yes. By the way, Mark, show them the picture.
Okay, so
There we go. You still want it?
Yep.
Yes, it's adorable.
There's going to be like 6 of them in our party soon.
So
No,
and
there's
just
something
to
else I
imagine that's not the most adorable thing in there.
No, it's not. There are more adorable things in there.
Yeah, I can imagine.
They are
That's a
explicit.
ripoff.
They are being explicitly put in as art. Well, they're also designed to look like Pokemon as well.
I was going to say, that's a ripoff group next to a ripoff Bulbasaur right there.
Yes, it is.
And yes, they do have Pokeballs in there too.
Yes.
Oh, that's perfect.
Should I
Turf.
catch them all?
It's a piece of turf.
Yep.
Yep.
Living
with,
turf.
with some leaves and stuff. It's a lump of dirt
That moves around.
that moves around reasonably quickly compared to some of the other ones.
It is. Okay, so the Manticore right next to Lani decides to go to town on Lani because he can see something to attack.
I gather I'm not up to my initiative yet.
It goes before you do.
Yep, that's fine.
So it has 3 attacks. So it tries to bite Lani first. And it probably won't succeed because I only got a 15.
Oh yeah, I got a 16 armor class. So.
It swings its claw at you, hitting an armor class of 24.
Yay.
This claw does 8 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
As you hear the sounds of claws against your armor. Then it swings its other claw at you. Apparently, its first swing knocked you out of place, so its second claw went over your head.
Okay. Cool.
You weren't where it was planning on you being.
Yeah.
Then we have the one that Llewell knocked back. Fires 3 quills at our warlock.
I have a shield.
You fire 3 bolt good in, he'll fire 3 good back again.
Okay, so first one comes in at you at AC 15.
Nope.
Dink! Second one comes in at AC 20.
That's a hit. Unless cover gives me an advantage.
At this stage, it was seeing directly where you had been, and it got 11 points of piercing damage with one of its quills.
Ouch.
And its third quill, trying to follow the other two, went tink, hitting armor class 14.
Tink.
But hey, it got one in.
It got one in.
And then it flies 50 feet closer to you.
Okay.
So basically flying in, going tap, 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 tap. And so there is the one that was just knocked out of the air by Jeremy's character.
Yep. He's hitting the ground.
Yep. It still has no idea where you are, so it charges Lani. Obviously, it's the person with the glowing weapon.
Yes.
Of course.
And because the gnome is invisible as far as it's concerned, and amusingly enough, none of them are looking at Drazzle.
Drazzle's probably standing there writing in his book while he's invisible.
No, he casts Sanctuary on himself, so they can't attack him.
Yeah.
Which means he can't attack them, they can't attack him, so he can pull his book out.
But he doesn't care. He's got no sword.
Okay.
This is how come he rarely participates in their combat. You just don't get to see him cast a spell very often. Okay.
So yeah, when it hit the ground, was it still within range of a charge to get to Lani, or is it just targeting towards the ground?
It can charge 30 feet on the ground, but it's firing its quills at Lani the whole time.
Yeah, fair enough.
So first one is so great.
Lani shows how to throw on the move.
It hits an armor class of 7.
Nope.
Followed by apparently he shot his friend right in the. We can go there. So he hits his friend that Lani is attacking in the back of their head. Just making sure I get the right one. So that is that one. And has a third shot. And apparently misses with every shot. Well, he charged in happily, yelling from a distance. And then we still have the one that has the arrow in him. You can see him busily pulling the arrow out of his body using his teeth.
Yep.
Okay.
And the snapping sound of the arrow coming out.
But apparently not really approaching at the present time. He's still a few hundred feet away at least.
He's about 400 feet away.
Yep.
Okay. So now it is
Duke. Yep.
As you notice the smoke just dissipate.
Yep. How close are they to me?
There is one within 10 feet of you.
And any others?
There is another one that's running towards where you are, who's about 60 feet away.
Okay.
And there's another one about 400 feet away on the ground.
Yep.
And there's one above you about 70 feet.
Okay. So, I don't necessarily need to create an Eldritch cannon because I don't necessarily need to go more than 120 feet. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me be the cannon.
So
Because
I can either protect everyone within 10 feet of me, or
Which would be Lani. And Drax will protect.
fire bolt with my wand. But I think Eldritch Cannon still is my most damaging attack. Would that be right, Martin?
It is, yes.
Do we want to see flamethrower versus just like explosions? Okay, so the ballista will actually push them 5 feet away. So I guess I'll use the Eldritch Cannon Force Ballista, if that's okay. Do I just roll a 20 to see if that hits?
Which one are you targeting?
Closest
Closest.
would probably be the...
Or, well, the other one would be you could go for the one in the air. Cause that way,
Yeah, I was thinking maybe the one
any
above.
chance of targeting the wrong spot, you're not going to hit a friend.
Yeah,
Or you're much less
yeah.
likely to anyway.
Yeah, I think I might go for the one in the air. Okay, so I'll do that. That looks like it's not a very good roll. It's a 3.
Well, good thing you weren't targeting the one on the ground.
I don't think I add much to that, so... do I get any other
You
attacks
should
aside
be
from that?
adding roughly about 6 to 8.
I was going to say, you did at least 6 to 8, I would have thought.
I still got to get you to teach me how to read these sheets properly.
But if you roll a 3, that's probably still unlikely to be enough.
Yeah. Yeah, it's most likely to be under 10.
Okay, I can bring up the example sheet on this page.
That would be good if you could.
So it should be +6.
Where are you getting that?
+3 dex, +3.
Okay, yeah.
provisions.
Efficiency bonus.
Yeah. Okay, yep. Alright. So yeah, that would be like 9.
Okay, so yes, you see there's an explosion of leaves coming down from where you struck the branches above.
More cover. Do I get a second shot at all?
Unfortunately, no, you don't get multiple shots as an artificer.
Okay.
And you can still move.
Can
potentially.
I go for cover then?
I can say you, as a bonus action, you can drop another smoke grenade.
Yep, that would probably be the best idea.
So they see you throw this bolt and going, nope.
This time it's a lovely pink poof.
Okay, so there's this pink poof smelling of.
Oversweet flowers.
Okay.
It's kind of just as bad as the stink bomb, but in a different way.
It is now Lani's go. You are completely surrounded by the smell of over-perfumed flowers.
Can I
I was
also
gonna
glitter any manticores within range of me? Cool. Glittering manticores. Happy now.
With this pink poof, does this disrupt my line of sight on the Manticore I was fighting?
It does not, but you're on the edge of it, so you get the whole experience.
The smell.
Ooh,
But you're not
how
blind.
exciting. Alright, we're gonna stab this thing
And you
again.
sparkle now.
I love sparkles.
Oh, you're a vampire.
No, that's not a vampire. That's an emo twit with sharp teeth.
Yeah, that's a better
I am
description.
distracted by the smell and the smoke. So first attack missed, that was a 10.
Yep.
Second attack, much better. I got a 24.
24 is a good hit.
Yep, so go ahead and do that. So we got 18 damage. 2 sevens, nice.
Okay, you get a nice strong hit on him.
Very
Okay,
good.
so that brings us to Llewell. There is one circling in towards you who dodged out of the way of this big boom that went up into the trees.
Yes, and I was the one who knocked back before. I'm going to be knocking back again because I want to have him keep moving in rather than successfully move in.
No, he did get him back for the quill, he got stuck in you.
I wave it at him and then use it as my focus. No.
Use blood magic, are you?
Well, I hit him 3 times and he hit me once. I think it's actually fair. Oh, gold clock. Oh, that's much better. Oh, you gods. Okay, well over what I need. That's 24 for 9 points.
9 points.
And 10 for a knockback. Yeah, rather less. 13, is that a hit?
13, it just spins around it.
Right. Ooh. 26.
That's still a hit.
Yep. And 8 points.
Okay. Then it is the tribesman's turn. Do you throw yourself into cover this time?
And into cover, yes.
Yep. I will again hold my position and take advantage of the CA. And so there's one still in the air, there's one that's about 50 feet away charging, and there's the one actually on the spot right now, isn't it? They're all damaged. Let's get rid of the one in the air.
Okay.
So again, I'm taking a shot with advantage. I think I missed.
2 ones.
2 ones.
Oh no.
What would you like to do if you're a critical miss?
Yeah.
I'm guessing broken string and probably take a bit of string snap damage.
Okay, so you take 6 points of slashing damage from the string breaking as it goes snap, and you've now got a scar across the front of your face.
A good warrior scar.
Well, they are quite. It was quite taunt at the time.
Yes.
And yep, okay, well that's my action because as I say, I'm taking the moment, so therefore I've got no move. So.
Okay.
And I'm probably no longer hidden, going crap!
So the flying one turns and aims for the screaming person, and gets a whole armor class 14.
Bad or miss.
He tries again, getting an armor class of 16.
Still miss.
And third time, luckily, he goes for armor class 22.
That one was it.
Dealing 8 points of piercing damage.
I'll use uncanny dodge reaction to halve that.
That is fair.
Take 4.
And then the one on the ground starts, that Lani is attacking, starts sneezing.
Sneezing?
Yep.
Yep.
It's a creature that it's a creature that really animalistic creature. So I'm going to say it does have scent as part of its abilities because it is a tracking, stalking creature, and someone just gave it an overabundance of flower.
Not just flour, but sickly, sweet-smelling flour.
Yeah. And even with its constitution bonus, it still is basically just spending the entire round sneezing right next to you.
If it wasn't so deadly, it'd be cute.
And then the one behind it runs up and tries to pounce on Lani with a 14 on the bite.
Miss.
And then a whole 10 on the first claw swipe.
Yep, miss.
And then a 22 on the second claw swipe.
That will get it.
Apparently he's going for a wide area because of all this sparkle.
Yeah. All this sparkle you did, vampires.
And does 6 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Yes.
And you see the one in the distance is rushing forward and is shooting at... actually, it can't. It spends this entire round rushing. Because it is too far away to shoot, even with its squirrels.
was the reason for me doing the lockback.
Well, that was the one that was originally shot down.
Oh, yeah.
The original one that was.
The,
If
the,
you hope
one,
to
the,
feed
one I
away.
hate, the one I hate with the knockback is still going to have difficulty with movement anyway.
Okay, so I believe that covers all 4, and now we're back to Duke.
Wonder if I should go for a different attack this
Is there still
time.
one in the air?
There is still one in the air. It's the one who attacked you.
That's right, the one that shouldn't be in the air until I roll top of one.
Would my firebolt wand be more precise?
It should be.
Okay. It gets a +9 to hit.
It is more precise.
So I give it a go with that.
So roll dice and add 9 to it.
14.
That's definitely
23.
And how much damage does it say?
Sorry. I need like 6 different pairs of glasses. 4d10 plus 4. So a d10 is that one?
Yeah, this would look like that.
Yeah.
They're the D10s.
I'll steal that one.
Oh,
That's a
crazy.
2. That's a 3. That's a 7.
With Stibbles,
And
remember
a
we were talking
5.
about
3
there
equals
being
5,
not
17.
knockoff Pokemon? It is basically a book on how to do fantasy Pokemon.
It is. It's very cool.
Yeah. It's got
Plus
dueling,
4 is 23.
dueling, buying weird eggs, training your critters up, and yeah.
Yeah, plus 4. Yeah, okay, all good. Do I only get one attack?
You get normally 1 attack with those,
Can
which
I-
do big damage.
Drop another bomb?
You could drop another one as your bombs. You get about, I think it's 3 or 4 bombs a day.
Yeah. I drop a bright blue bomb
Mm-hmm.
that smells like rotten eggs.
Okay. A methane bomb.
Pretty much.
And then Lani, you're right next to a rotten
Sulfur
eggs.
I want to say that I prefer the last one. So I'll go ahead and try to attack the one I've been attacking again.
I reckon I should probably tinker nose plugs for all of you.
Yeah.
Yes. I got a nat 20.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So damage times 2, right?
Yep.
So that is.
And depending upon your expertise level with the weapon, you may have other effects as well.
Yeah. Let's see. 8, 13, 26.
26. With 26, you basically knock the Manticore down. It collapses with your mastery stroke.
Perfect.
I told you it had other effects, you see?
So he's down.
He
and
is
I have
down.
another action.
Yep, and you can move if you want to.
Well,
because there's
There are
within-
two in melee with her.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see how far I can throw this thing. Because the one that's flying is 70 feet in the air.
The one that's flying is 70 feet in the air, yes.
But you've got one that's actually on you as well. That's on the.
Oh,
you had two
right.
immediately.
I forgot about that. Yeah. So I'll go ahead, do a cool spin, and hit the other one, or at least try to. Let's see. 14, just barely.
14 is a hit. That's all you need.
That is 9 damage.
Okay.
So I'll action surge now.
Yep.
So
So you get another 2 attacks.
15.
Is a hit.
That'll be 12 damage, and then one more. We got modified 20.
That'll hit.
Definitely a hit.
And that 23.
23. Okay, so you manage to throw that one in such a way that you see your trident burst out the top of its skull from the bottom.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Nice. See, again, I said there were other effects in the critical.
So you had 23 points of damage. It had 2 hit points left.
Oh my god.
So I'm really glad that my blue misty bond means that I can't see
Yes.
that.
Yes, it's just currently raining in the area.
Right.
Yeah.
So
All
does she?
you see is a little bit of lightning strikes coming through the cloud. The
So
clouds
does-
lighting them up.
So does Lani on that result get a free intimidate on any one of them still alive?
I'm sure she does. If they were smart enough.
Yes. Oh well. Yeah.
Of which there's currently one in the air and one charging along the ground that's still a couple hundred feet away at the moment, isn't it?
And
So we've got two left, right?
Yep.
and too dumb and too vicious to intimidate.
Okay, Lua.
3 more shots into whichever one is closest.
The flying one?
Yep.
He's the closest one.
Flying one is good, with all the knockback fun. 24, it worked before, it'll work again. 10 points.
Okay. You hear the snapping sound as you seem to rip both its wings off while it's in the air.
Oh,
It had 1 hit point left, did it?
Oh, it was on low hit points. It just, while the tattering of wings behind it, it just face planted in the ground.
Alright, shoot the other one with my last shot.
Well, it was one shot. You have 2 more.
But
Good point.
the other one probably not in range.
The other one is currently at 340 feet away.
Alright, so I'm not going to shoot that one.
But it's like,
Yeah, no, too far. there is an upgrade on the Eldritch Blast which will give it 300 feet. But I haven't got that yet.
and still wouldn't have hit it.
I know. But 100 yards is going to scare the bejabbers out of people with a spell cast.
Okay, so it is now the Tribesman's turn.
Okay, I'm going to use a bonus action to hide
Yep.
and then move. Go 35. We'll go about 25, 30 feet closer to the creature running towards us.
So put you about 300 feet mark.
That's fine. And then my action will be to pull out my sling and go back to basics. And get ready, get the sling ready.
Okay, on its turn, it moved 60 feet closer.
So I'm about 240 feet away from me approximately.
Yep.
I'm going to... Yes, I'm going to wait until it's in range. I'll hold until it's at range.
Jukesco, your nice egg bomb clears.
it's 280 feet away at the
It
moment.
is, yes.
I don't have anything that can go that far, do I?
Generally not. Most people don't have long-ranged effects.
Your big cannon does that, doesn't it?
120
No,
feet.
120, yeah.
Yeah, but I do have Eldritch Cannon Protector, which can emit a burst of positive energy that grants itself and anybody next to me within 10 feet some temporary hit points. I don't know if that's any use at this stage.
At this stage, no.
5 volt.
Don't worry, mate. If you're not going to hit, just take cover and prepare for when it gets closer.
Yeah, I think that'll be the best that I can do.
Rush off the road and get into some cover.
Yeah, get some cover and prepare
You've got about 4 rounds before it can reach
my
you.
next attack. So we'll go with that. That sounds
Okay.
good.
Lani, it's still about 280 feet from you, the last one moving.
Yeah, I was double checking if I had any other weapons that have that range, and I don't. So I'm just going to prepare for when it is within my trident's throwing range.
So the equivalent of, well, I can, put that down, pull out a few different things, maybe write my own journal,
Yeah, exactly.
put that away, and then pick up my trident, and I'm still waiting.
Yeah. Hold on. Oh, I do have a longbow. I'm assuming I have time to pull out a longbow.
Absolutely.
You can drop your trident and pull out a longbow as the same action.
Okay, so I'll do that. And do I have to wait for my next round to shoot, or with my second action can I shoot?
Normally, because even with the 2 attacks, it's considered 1 action.
That's right.
But
Okay, gotcha.
I'm happy for a bonus action to draw a weapon, dropping the other weapon.
Okay.
So basically, you get your longbow ready in a similar way, but I got my sling ready.
Yeah,
So.
there we go. Okay, so, yep, that's what I do.
Okay, then it is Llewell's go. You get to ready your fingers.
I'm ready with my rod out. Oh, polish this bit.
And the tribesman is also ready with his sling.
Yep, right, but let's go. So how far away is it from the cloak at the moment?
It is currently about 250 from you.
250 from me?
Yep.
Okay. And it's about, they're moving at about 50 feet forward around, is that right?
Closer to 60.
60? Yep. Okay.
It's doing a double move.
Yep. I will move forward another 35 and, okay, maintain my hide with the bonus action. And, in fact, yeah, no, that'll do me. Okay, I'll just, again, be prepared if a sudden books on a burst of speed. I can shoot, I can attack, but yeah, I'm not expecting to back the ground.
Okay, so it moves forward another 60 feet, putting it for you. That would be into about
150, right?
I think about 180 is closer. So
Okay.
It should be 180.
Can't wait.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
No, you moved 30, so closer to about 150 is probably right.
Oh, good. Oh, okay. It's still out of range for sling right now, but I can move and get in range. If I want
That'd
to.
be about 210 from everyone else. Okay.
So is anyone attacking it this round or doing any movement or anything like towards it other than...
Duke is hiding in the bushes. Lani is up about 210 feet away from it, getting to fire her bow.
So you're probably within long range of your bow at the moment.
She would
Yeah.
be. So you get disadvantage at this distance.
Yeah,
You don't have to shoot, but you could hit it.
yeah. Okay, so if it's my turn, why not? Let's try it. So, disadvantage, let's see. Yeah, probably not. Let's see. What is 9?
9. So the first shot misses. What about the second?
Second shot will be... Ooh, baby, please. Yes, 15.
15. You hit. You're doing 2d8 plus
Yeah.
your dex for piercing.
Yep.
Hmm.
So that will be 11.
11 points. Okay. Arrow strikes it quite soundly.
Very nice.
And Llewell, it's about 210 out from you.
Not much I can do at this point.
And then the tribesman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to delay until after its move.
Okay. It's seems to be screaming swear words in your direction as it moves closer, and as it moves within 200 feet, it has quill attacks on Lani from a distance. First one misses. Second one misses. And third one apparently hits itself.
Oh no.
You see a spike and a splash of blood out of the back of its head as it sort of trips a bit while firing and
Whoops.
manages to spike itself in the back of the head.
Ouch.
Oh no.
But he's still moving.
That's against the city at long range again. And that would put it at about 120 feet for me, I believe.
That will put it at about 120 feet from you, yes.
Yep. I will use my bonus action to steady the aim and take a shot.
As a held action like that, was it a readied action?
Okay, well, I said I delayed.
Delayed, okay, then delay, yeah.
I'm going after him. I was waiting for him to come close. And so, yeah, I deliberately delayed. And so, yeah, so basically, you've got bonus action for the steady aim. Well, I'll probably get it from hidden anyway.
You are hidden, so the first attack of the round would be with
advantage, yeah. So, and taking the -5 to get extra damage. So, total of 17.
17 is a hit.
Okay, what do I D4 first thing? 10, 20, 26, 30.
30.
30
Okay.
points of damage from my sling bullet.
So you fire your sling bullet at it. You see the bullet strike it right in the forehead, right between the eyes.
Nice.
You don't see your stone bounce off, but it does face plant right afterwards. And you see it just sort of slide.
Absolutely.
So to put it in perspective, it had 2 hit points left thanks to Lani.
So you're saying that there might have been a slight case of overkill?
Yep.
I possibly didn't need
Well,
to take the... Instead of getting sneak attack, I probably didn't need to take the -5 to hit to get the +10 damage.
Well, they've all died to enormous overkills on the final shot, so...
Except for the first one.
Oh, it didn't.
No.
No, it didn't, that's right.
Only one of them hasn't been killed outright.
Yeah.
So it's now Duke's go. There is only one breathing Manticore unconscious on the roadway.
Loot it for
Is that the
parts.
one that originally landed, or is that the one that...
The one that I knocked out.
The first one Lani took down.
Yes.
Yeah, the one that landed first.
Loot it for parts.
As in dismember it, or as in try
Well,
to find the key?
Well, it depends. If you got a well, we've got to find the key, but selling bits to alchemists is always worthwhile.
Yes. I gather there's no sign of the key.
They don't have pockets.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I wouldn't think that these are effectively animals. I don't think they'd be carrying it with them.
No, unless
they were
unless
also the patrol.
unless one of them's got a collar. But yes.
But I guess the real question for Duke is, are you going to go forward to kill it, or otherwise?
It depends on whether or not the rest of the party will kill it anyway. Or whether or not... I'm not quite sure whether killing... I suppose whoever they belong to will be pissed off enough that we've killed 3 of them already, so a 4th one won't kind of matter. And if they're guarding a cave that will be left unguarded, better not for it to regain consciousness and sneak up behind us.
And from a gnome perspective, manticores are a pest species.
There is that.
Yeah.
So a grenade and blow it up in its throat.
I would
We'll just go forward and scan it.
Yeah.
humanely finish it off.
Okay.
And I guess I would try and gather parts from all of them. If I've got the option.
I'll let you do so. I'm just going to go to the bathroom so you can all catch up with each other now they have managed to take out 4 manticores.
I'm
Which
a
is
bit
pretty
curious,
impressive,
Amanda. What's defined as humanely for a mad bombing gnome?
But
I would like to leave some pieces intact for sale for later.
there's a point. Cutting its throat's the best way to go.
So yeah, bombing probably not what I would do here in the sense of if I can collect the parts and use them for other things or sell them, that's
Do I go forward and just slit his throat?
yeah, pretty much.
Magical wing cloak.
Lots of things. So
Lots
we've
of
got
things,
like
useful.
4 of them to reap stuff off.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do manticores in this have venom? I'm sure they have.
Oh, they do, but they've got to bite you for it. Yeah, actually, yeah, it's wyvern tails.
But this spikes might be of interest.
It might be.
Yeah.
Unusual.
Yeah, if you want to do that sort of thing, you could get a bunch of the spikes and use them from mace.
Yeah.
Except
if you accidentally hit
warhammer.
yourself, you may not come out of it very well.
D&D usually doesn't do that, except unless
I was
you
going to
roll
say
one
fine for
badly.
me.
So we haven't played together long enough, but I often do.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. There's one particular weapon called a Godendog, which has a couple of different forms, one of which is basically a bloody great piece of wood with spikes.
Sounds pretty brutal.
It you know the big hammers or big mallets used for putting in the stakes for big tents?
Did you prefer a soda stream this time of night? Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that's good. Just checking. So I would just carefully and appropriately grab all the bits that I think might be useful that'll fit into my bag of holding.
Yes.
Quills, feathers, poison, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Whilst the gnome is tidying up, the tribesman will
Very
maintain
diplomatically put.
maintain a watch on both the air and the rodent forest.
So what was the consensus
actually-
on the humane way of killing it?
Cut its throat.
Stab to an artery or
Okay.
just something that'd mean that it would never get conscious again.
But obviously, stabbing a line so that the
Yeah.
That looks like a brick on the end of a stick. Sorry, what was that, Jeremy?
But obviously the stabbing of the artery is aligned so that it misses the gnome but actually hits the elf.
Yeah. Except I'm over there, so it's not an issue.
Pressure builder?
But yeah, so Tribesman is basically maintaining a watch while he changes his bowstring and curses the idea of that was my lucky bowstring, how'd it break?
Monty gives the tribesman advice as he works on the bowstring. He's like, most bows, they actually look like this and all that stuff. You might want to do that real quick.
And you do notice the tribesman does have an impressive cut across his face.
Yeah.
He just missed taking out both eyes with the string.
Yep.
Cool stuff.
There'd be no eyes and no name. Yep.
Yes.
See? No idea.
Yes, I was about to say that one.
I thought you'd go with no sea deer.
Yes.
But I'm assuming that we don't sit like I say, so I'm guessing that we've paused for probably a short rest effectively.
Yeah, a short rest.
Yeah, you take about an hour while your gnome collects pieces of value. We'll leave it at pieces of value and not go into too descriptiveness.
As per any hunter-prey type relationship with nature, you don't waste anything you kill.
Okay.
Well,
Is
what
their
it
meat any good?
It's meat.
Would it be the kind of meat like we could give to a rock?
Yep.
Yes, actually it would be ideal. Not for us to eat, because it's a carnivore and it's going to taste nasty.
During the short rest,
But-
I'm going to use a hit die to get back the damage,
Yep.
taking advantage of my earthen affinity, so therefore I get 2 dice effectively.
By the way, this is the Tinker version of a golden dog.
Oh, a little bit more impressive,
Yep.
but also very heavy looking.
Well, it's not... it's not white.
It doesn't look very well
Unfortunately,
balanced.
no
It's
river
a-
for you to
it's a
get the
two-handed
bonus
weapon.
for Lani.
Something dark side?
No river for her to get the bonus hit dice for.
No river?
So I'll use
Yeah.
2 hit dice because I only got 2 on
Although-
that one. Okay. 4. Okay. So I got up 6 damage.
Yeah.
Back.
So
It's
I'm
not
up
going to
to
be as heavy as it
58.
looks. It's only this long.
Oh, well.
So it's only going to be this size.
The tribesman recovers
Metal
fully
barrels in
with his
wood.
2d8 worth.
Okay, yep.
That always
So-
comes in handy.
Sorry, having trouble with all the...
Yeah, no.
Because I'm technically deaf in this ear, so...
Yeah, it's hard to pick up bits.
I
Okay.
get a hearing aid in 2 weeks' time,
Yeah,
but
very
until then
close.
it's a little bit difficult to
Yeah.
split my hearing capacity.
So yes, you head on towards the hilltop.
Okay, we don't see any evidence of any more manticores or anything like that in that hour?
You do not.
Okay, yep. Well, when people are rested and recovered, move on to the hilltop.
And you
Can we
make
see any evidence of manticores flying around the hilltop and or...
Excuse me.
Before we get out of the tree line, we'll take another look and see what's around.
as you get out of the tree line, you do see the cave where they were coming in and out of before. You can see the marks of them. You can see 4 distinct sets of marks.
Okay. So it would seem that we've got them all. So, I'm assuming that as part of the tidying up, we didn't leave them in the middle of the pathway. They remained pushed off to the side.
Yeah.
That's completely up to you and your aesthetics.
I would clean up after myself.
Yes.
Do I have prestidigitation?
We can't hear anything in the cave? Like from the tree line?
You cannot hear anything from the cave.
If you can have arcane cantrips, then yes.
Okay. I will aim to cautiously and stealthily move forward towards the cave entrance.
Looking in, the cave itself is open to the sky.
Okay.
They have a walk-in and a fly-in entrance.
Okay.
Nice. Useful.
And again, still not seeing or hearing anything in the cave. Can we see all the way to the back of the cave?
Looking into the back of the cave, you see what appears to be a skeleton lying against a tree growing through the cave.
Okay.
That's going to be where we need to search.
Well, and obviously not seeing any other manticores in the cave, I'm assuming.
You do not see any other
I'm
manticores
sure
in the
they might have
cave.
been mentioned before the skeleton, if they were there, so... in which case, I will signal the others that it needs to be all clear and move forward into the cave.
Okay.
Yep.
So we'll, I guess, if that's the only notable thing that we can see, we'll search around the skeleton and tree.
Okay, the skeleton looks like it's been here for many thousands of years.
So it's definitely a point of interest.
It looks very old.
Yes. Anything magical around here, I say as I look around.
Yes, there is a scroll, and you detect something under the base of the tree.
Okay. I mentioned both of the things I've just seen, locations, and is the one under the tree is that associated with the skeleton, or is it just
The skeleton is next to the tree.
Yep,
but there's something coming from underneath the tree.
Okay, cool. I will mention I'll do this. I will go for that one. Not the skeleton itself, but under the tree.
I'll be aiming to maintain a watch initially, just to ensure there's nothing else coming while the others are doing their search.
Digging under the tree, you find a silver chest, about the size of the coins.
Okay. So really small.
But big enough to hold a coin, you mean? Or
Big enough to hold a coin.
Yes.
Right.
Alright, open up.
It pops open as you touch it, and inside you see a coin with which you understand to be the Manticore coin.
Yep. I get ready
Wisdom
for
saving throw.
I get ready for the hair wafting experience. 16 on the dice. I think I made it.
So 16 on the dice. You see him light up a nice yellow colour
Mm-hmm.
with hair wafting in the back, and he's now got a third coin in his hands.
Nice.
So we've got 1, 2, and 3.
We've got the 3 orphan coins at the moment.
Yep.
4 will be the Centaur Key, and the Griffin Key is 5.
Okay.
But we won't necessarily get them in order, depending on what happens.
No. I guess the
See, as we couldn't get any
Griffin.
points or points.
The Griffin Key would probably be the next one because that's the only one we've got information on at the moment.
So, presumably nothing's visible while the others are doing that search.
There is.
Carefully at the skeleton.
There is a scroll next to the skeleton that was pointed out.
I did point out the other magic item. And
I'm assuming that Clue probably went for the scroll, but...
No, I said specifically I went for the item that's under the tree after pointing out there's something under the tree and there's a scroll.
Would you like to look at the scroll?
No, as I said, I was just going to be maintaining watch through the open sky and through the passage until people were ready, and if people haven't looked at stuff by the time they think they're ready to go, then I'll look at stuff, but...
Yeah, well, we've only had time to discover what I've found. No one else has said they're doing anything yet. If they have, they will.
Lonnie will take a look at this scroll if she's able to read anything on it, but not touch it yet.
Does she know Elvish?
No.
It looks pretty.
Oh, very pretty.
I know Elvish, though, don't
hey,
I?
this looks pretty. Does somebody who reads pretty language want to read it?
I don't have it written on this sheet, but I wrote it in here.
I believe
when
we do
were
have
talking
it.
Yeah,
about
we
how
read that
to
last time you
rock.
could speak Elvish.
Yeah.
That's how you could speak rock. Or
Yes.
Sylvan, I think, as well.
I see if I can read the scroll.
Okay, so you read on the scroll. After I realized my actions in the forest were about to be discovered, I ran to my hideout on this hill. I knew that if I stayed any longer, my secret would have been discovered. I am ill, my wounds are not healing, and my last hope for our clan remains in the White Tower. The spirit of our Lord still controls the upper levels of the palace and protects the forest. But as I am weakened, he will need more help. If by any chance a pure-hearted finds this note, go to the White Tower and call the Lord in the throne room. Confide in him and he will guide you.
Okay.
Go to the White Tower and confine in the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
and they will tell us what to do.
Okay, so...
Has there been descriptions of the tower that was in the south yet?
I think
Has
it's...
it been-
It's been described as a palace and a few other things as well, but
Yeah, but not as a white tower.
You haven't had colour before.
I haven't had colour before.
Yeah.
So, does anyone have medicine?
The Tribesman does. So he's looking at the skeleton if no one else gets around to it. So.
Give me a medicine check, Jeremy.
15 plus... a total of 22.
Okay, looking at the skeleton, both arms are broken, all the fingers have been broken in multiple places. The legs have been clearly broken in a few places. And most of these breaks look as if they've healed as well, and healed broken. And it does look as if the person before they died were with advanced age, with bone deformities, meaning that they probably couldn't move very well.
Is this the whole I have glass bones and paper skin nonsense? I'm just kidding.
No, I'm looking at it thinking that we just came up a mountain, didn't we?
You did. Give me an insight roll for your character with advantage.
Uh, 19 plus... total of 26.
Okay, you could quite easily determine from your medicine knowledge and from your physical knowledge of the area, there's no way someone with that amount of bone damage could have climbed the mountain, let alone written the letter.
Mm-hmm.
I will let the others know that...
The skeleton is possibly not the letter writer.
It's not that skeleton.
And was probably carried up here by the critters.
And amongst... no, it doesn't look like it's being touched by them.
There's no evidence of any claw marks or bite marks on it?
No claw marks or bite marks at all on the body. But you do find a holy symbol that you do not recognize.
Well,
Okay.
I will take a. You mean I've got no chance of recognising it, or I just don't recognise it on the first look?
Well, give me a religion roll.
I'm trained in religion.
Give me a
I'm
religion.
also happy that it might be completely out of my experience. So, 14, total of 23.
Okay, so all you can tell with this holy symbol is it seems to be made out of wood that hasn't died.
I don't suppose
Oh,
my
strikes me as an elven one.
history or arcana would help, would it?
It has no symbology matching any god he's ever heard of.
Okay.
Yes. Well, once I've got over my hair wafting thing, I'll have a look at that.
I'll point out the
I
fact
probably
that
will do. Yeah.
it used to be certainly a Sylvan or Elven type artifact.
You recognise it.
Yeah.
It is wood from a tree of life. Which
Fully
makes you
expecting
think
that.
it's wood of the
tree of life, because that's appropriate to what we're doing right at the moment.
And most likely carved by Ilsandal himself.
And considering the age of the skeleton,
I'm just going to geek out for like 2 minutes.
You think it may be his
yeah.
first holy symbol, which has been lost since this civilization fell.
So this
Jack
may
suggested the
be the
skeleton might be Ilfrida.
It wouldn't be him. He gave it to his followers.
yeah. No, he wouldn't have his holy symbol to himself.
He had become a god long before the elves evacuated this region.
Yeah.
Happy with that, and I will say,
Yes.
happy
However-
with the idea that the tribesman asked the questions on the fact that he's got
Oh, yeah.
this
No.
knowledge,
You
and he's
you get
filling in blanks.
you ask the questions, you get the answers, and I'm just gonna. No, Elsendor. It's no way. It's
This was
Elsendor.
one of the first high priests of Ilfrida.
This is. It's one of the priests of his first people. It strikes me as this may be one of the people who set up the guardianship of the coins, and for some reason ended up here with his bones broken. There's a few things it could be. However, this holy symbol is in the range of the most holy things of the elves that exists.
So I'll also give Prey idea of the tribesman another perspective on the bones. Looking at the bones, it's what you imagine a survivor of the Tiger Clan would look like.
He's
As
been
in
seriously damaged.
beaten, battered.
Bad, horrible torture.
Yeah. After Paul slows down and he's waxing lyrically about the wonders of the holy symbol,
Yes.
I'll point out that it would appear, yes, this man certainly did not die peacefully. Is there a way that we can ensure that he's remains rest more comfortably,
We can
according to the preferences of Ilfrida's kind?
certainly. And yes, that's definitely next. A cairn would certainly be in order. We can do that up here because I don't think we can actually dig a hole. Actually, no. There's a tree here. We bury him under the tree. That's entirely valid.
That worked.
And the space that the little chest that was in, that I found, should be about big enough to turn into an ossuary.
You also note that the what you see of the remaining of the clothing, it's what all the tree keepers you have ever met designs were based on.
Yeah.
So you think this was
one
The
of
first-
the original. This is
The first
tree keeper,
Or-
which means this tree itself.
Not the tree itself.
It's not the living tree, but this particular tree.
May or may not have anything to do with the thing because
Yeah.
you've got
Oh no,
already
true,
gotten
because
someone-
he's a tree keeper who's from somewhere else.
It's a tree keeper is here who could never have walked here themselves.
Yeah. At least not in the condition they were in when they
Yeah.
died.
And
But there's nothing stopping them having got up here and then being beaten up by somebody. It just sounds weird.
well, it looks as if most of their damage was healed. Before
So they were
died.
beaten up but not killed, and then possibly transported up there by other people
Yeah, as a...
and healed before they died.
They would have basically from the way the tribesman looks at it is that they were placed here after death.
That's right. It was in the fact that they were potentially tortured over years, so therefore the broken bones...
Oh, it's not all one. It's not all one lot.
Had time to heal while still under being tortured, and then when he finally died, they disposed of the body up here.
Or someone rescued the body and put it up here because they couldn't do anything else with it.
So that's the thing with the scroll. Was the scroll done by the person who
No.
was beaten, or was that scroll placed by somebody else?
Martin just said earlier that
It was
Prayer
somebody
Deer
else.
could see through his medical knowledge that due to the excessive breakages that he could not have physically written that scroll.
Yeah.
Right, they certainly not written it after he got up to this
Yeah.
cabin, which he couldn't reach because he couldn't get up here because of...
He could have
Broken bones.
dictated it though.
He could have. He could have written
Could
it
have
using a
dictated it, could
spell.
have had it on him this whole time.
Yeah.
But it's
either
written in a way
way-
that says that the person wrote it after arriving to this place. It
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
in complete contradiction to the medical evidence of
Yeah.
the skeleton.
Unless there was a second person up here at the time. Yeah.
And there's no evidence that there was anyone else here or in the writing. It was basically written in the singular.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a bit of a weirdness.
Mystery.
Well, yes. I am happy to assist in any internment that
Yeah.
Paul
Well.
wants to go through.
Yeah.
If I was a different type of character, I might be thinking, oh, hang on, all these holy relics I could collect. The finger of the true Christ.
I don't know that we're those kind of people,
No, we're not.
but it's certainly funny, and I think burying it might then prevent people who are like that from doing that kind of thing.
It
One of
came
the
to my mind when Paul mentioned the idea of, the chest to put the good ossuary. I thought, yeah, relically.
From an Elven
Yeah.
belief, burial's not something they care about.
No.
It,
But-
the remains are not as important to them.
Yeah, but
afterwards.
this is it's one of the elven trees, or an elven tree, whether with capital T or not. Just leaving the skeleton hanging about, lying against the side of it is untidy. There's a nice hole underneath the tree that used to have a little chest in it. I will make an ossuary out of it by just sticking all the bones in.
Sure.
I'm not going to do any. I don't need to do any. The thing with the elves, though, or the elven tradition, I'm not going to do any rituals over it. There's no point.
That is fair.
It's just tidying the bones away, rather than throwing them over the edge.
That is all good.
Yeah, showing the person who died at least a little respect.
And I guess
But
because
doesn't need
Prayer
anything
Deer
else.
has already expressed a desire to do so, there's no reason not
Yeah.
to assist him.
Yeah. So we fill the space up, put a rock over it. Next person who finds this is going to find a hell of a thing.
Give the tree
Of
a bit
course.
of water.
Well, considering what this is, probably no one else will ever see this again. Anyway,
Depending on if the elves ever come back.
well, that's the thing. If we take over here, then yes, we would do something with it. But we haven't got a Wii yet. When
Remembering,
we have a Wii,
with the particular local lines that we're dealing in a definitely a big southern continent here, well away from the known world.
Yeah. And?
It's about halfway between where the elves are now and where the elves originated.
Yeah.
Which is not that bad.
So,
Good size.
I gather we either rest here, depending on time of day, before moving
Yep.
on to the Griffin Fields, or move on to the Griffin Fields.
Well, I expect that the next couple like you back in the city again,
Yeah.
if we're following the road.
And it's
so I would
basically...
think that with the time we're taking here, that we would be overnight at this location.
Yeah.
So we're
Again,
heading back to the
probably-
city.
You're probably somewhat safer with the idea that anything around that might come forward believes there's 4 griffins around, so...
Manticores.
Manticore, sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay, I'm just trying not to get myself confused.
Okay, so you spend the night in the Manticore's lair. And I think tomorrow, the morning will come next game, considering we are after 10.
Really?
Yeah. And I know with a few people in work and timing, it comes a bit hard to make everything work.
Yeah.
No problem. I think that's it. We've certainly achieved in this session. We've got a quarter of the coin minute.
Yeah.
Exactly. Good job.
And considering how long it took you to get a coin, you got 3 in one session.
In a pretty quick succession, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We had to learn how to actually do it. What we needed to do, where it is, and setting up with the beings that are allowing us to do this.
So,
Yeah.
finding the spot where the coins are actually still in their original locations.
So if you manage to get hold of the nymph coin wherever that may be, because the narwhal says it doesn't have it, then you automatically get 2 coins at the price of 1.
Yeah. Yes. Ooh, pretty.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much for that.
That was all good.
Thank
That
you.
was a lot of fun because you finally got to see some of the things you had been doing, setting up, working out.
Yeah.
And that is a nice thing to see from my side is you set up dealing with the rock and got its key. You managed to take out the manticores in very quickly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey,
So.
the Tribesman finally got to use all his ranged combat capabilities. Didn't he?
Yes. Which he doesn't normally get to do at all, ever.
This is true.
Yes.
And with the night's rest, you're all fully healed.
Yeah.
You've done a good job.
Yeah. What's the thing about 2/3 of our combats have been basically melee?
Yeah.
They have been.
And what was even worse is the fact that for a long time in the campaign, the now nameless one was the frontline fighter, the frontline melee.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. You were having to deal with melee, and therefore couldn't indulge in your ranged combat.
Like you said, there was no one actually in front to actually allow me to stand back and shoot because there was no one actually let me go.
Exactly. So now we have someone who can do frontline combat that you can stand next to,
Yeah.
and Tidal can stand behind the 2 of you and dodge around a bit. And actually, it's Lani stands in front, and Tidal and Tribesman basically dance around and zap things at will.
So the first time you really get the chance to do it, bloody double 1 on a good match.
Yes.
The dice are trying to.
Swing the carriage since its first creation.
I think the bow's trying to tell you something.
No, you replace the string, it should be all good.
What you really need is the string of unbreaking. So next time the bow snaps in half instead of the string.
That's how you grab the one off Lani.
There you go. Yeah, Lonnie's always
Yes.
got the extras.
Okay. So have a good night, guys.
Yeah, you too.
And
See you next week or 2 weeks, whenever I see you guys.
Yes.
Hopefully in person next week. I was just really busy today.
hopefully in person. We'll
Yeah.
see you later.
Take it easy.
Oh.
And I'll see you tomorrow, Jeremy.
I know.
Good night.
I'm just gonna go get my